Dear fellow recruiters, Suman Pachigulla here and welcome to a new video. And I hope you are doing wonderful, and I always wish for a successful life to every one of you. Now here in this video, I'm going to show you necessary steps and things that is required for someone to become a business development manager or business development executive. Alright. And we are going to discuss all of this during this video. It might be a little bit lengthy, so if you are someone who is very much interested to get into business development, I definitely urge you to stay till the end so that you will get a broader information towards business development and what are the things that you need to do. When we talk about business development, it requires different attitude because business development is a different ball game altogether. Okay, first you definitely have a patience and you should be a people person. It means you need to have that skill that you are good at interacting, you are good at maintaining the relationship, and you are good at convincing. Okay, those are primary thing comes in when it comes to business development. Well, all those things can be developed because nobody from the beginning of their career or maybe from their childhood, they were not be like that. But definitely if you go to the profession, you might need to act like that. All right. So here in business development, there are two things, right? So you could become a business development manager or business development executive. So business development managers or BDM are also called salespeople. Okay. And when we call about business development manager or business executive, what is business development is bringing new clients to the company. Okay, we are primarily talking about recruiting side, okay, in staffing industry. All right. So in staffing industry, bringing new client to your company, that's what your duty. If you could able to onboard or you could able to empanel, okay, empanel, so that's called empanelment. All right, so you get the contract signed, or your company, whatever the company that you're working with, if those company get the contract and got into the procurement program of any big clients, that's what you call your success as a business development manager or a sales manager. So there comes another role, business development executive. Okay, so here this person works with business development managers, where business development managers responsibilities could be for client management. Okay, they might need to get into MSA review or contract reviews. They need to get into negotiation and manage deals, get new clients, build relationship. Okay, and needs to have experience with communication, meaning professional communication between the client and the company, and they need to know reporting. Okay, this person needs to know market research. This person should have a good collaboration with the recruiting team, so on and so forth. These are the primary responsibility of a business development manager. With the help of business development executive, this person gets to the work. Okay, so here in order to work, both of them need to work with leads. Okay, now we are talking about now this is the responsibility of a business development manager. Now how exactly it works? Okay, so here before we get into where to start, what is required, and understanding of what else we need to do if we are getting into business development, so let's understand excuse me, what this business development executive does, or maybe this BDM person does. So here first you need to have leads with you, then prospects, then it goes to clients, meaning your business development manager will give you some leads. Okay, so here these leads that business development executive connects and converts the leads to prospect and to the clients. So what are the leads? Leads could be the sheet of information of the client's contact number and email IDs, where the business development executive calls, emails, and connects with them. And once the call gets success and the person wants to talk to your manager or your company owner about your business or your solution offerings, that becomes a prospect, and whoever agrees to work with you becomes your client. Understood? So you as a business development person, you need to know the difference between all these three. What is lead, prospect, and client? Lead is the primary one, which will come cold. This is called warm. This might be hot. They're ready to work with you. Okay. Now here, once you have these things, now you should, if you have leads, you should target to make that as your client or your business. All right. That's what we talk about. So if we are talking about recruiting with the leads, you need to ensure that whatever you have your solution or maybe the candidates, these people would like to take your help to place the use the candidates. Now, if these are the people who are really using and they're paying you, okay, that's what it is. So once you, before you have leads, before you pitch, before these new leads become prospect, there are so many things goes on. So let's understand about what are the things required in order for you to become a successful business development manager. Okay, where you should start. All right. So definitely these are the approaches you should be doing. And before we get into this, let's understand what is that required for you in order to bring new clients to your business. Okay. So first you need to know, why are you better than other people? Meaning other companies. Now you as a recruiting company, you as a staffing company, yes, definitely you want to have the contacts that you would like to place your candidates and you want to make money. And again, you are not the only one, right? So there are so many hundreds and thousands of companies who are currently looking for building their client base and they wanted to serve them. So first you need to answer this, why are you better? So you just cannot say that we do a great service, right? And definitely that is not really going to work. Everybody says that we are good at providing services and we are, we take care of our client so well. No, because that is what generally expected you to do. So if you mention that we are good at client engagement and services and we good at matching your requirement to our candidate, no, those are the very generic terms. That is the reason you definitely have to identify the reason. Okay, USP, unique selling proposition. What is that? Differentiate. What is that differentiate your company from others' company? Do you have a specific skilled people, specific domain people, specific category of people? What is that all about your company? All right, that's what you need to identify first before even you go and use your leads. All right. So if you just use some sort of automation tool or generic emails, then it's really going to have a long time, or sometime it may give you stress and you may exhaust in that approach. Okay, because everybody does that, right? So when there are less competition, yes, whatever you do generic, it will work. But when there are a lot of competition and everybody wants to start a staffing company, everybody wants a company, everybody wants the client that they should work with, and they should get the requirement and they will serve with candidates. But at the same time, if you do not differentiate yourself, it's very much difficult. Okay, first you as a business development person need to identify why are you better and set your unique selling proposition, that okay, this is the reason why we are good and this is why you should work with us. All right, then whom you want to serve, right? There are so many companies are in US, so many companies are in India, and whatever the part of the world that you are looking at this video and you want to grow your business, there are so many. Now you need to have a clarity towards whom you should be serving, what would be your client base is, what kind of a company that should be. That should be your first criteria, because these are the homework you definitely have to do. And as I told you in the beginning of the video, patience is very much important. If you think today you send 5 emails and you are expecting some reply, it's not going to work. So consistency and patience. So every day you need to do your things. Okay, it could be monotonous, it is boring, it's frustrating, and yes, it's definitely going to kill your time, but still that's what you got to do. And again, if someone says there is a magic formula that they have a list and all of a sudden you send emails or you contact and you'll get tens of contacts, God bless you, and I leave that to you. Okay, I really don't have any comments for that. You go with that or whatever you want to do. Okay, but calling, individual approach is very much important if you are starting. So get a clarity why you're different. Second, whom you want to serve. When you want whom to serve, you need to have your targeted client, meaning what kind of industry that you would like to work. Is the pharma, is that medical devices manufacturing, it's IT, non-IT, engineering. What is that kind of industry? How big that company client should be that you want to serve? Is that a startup, mid-level, big, what this kind of? And are you location specific? Are you looking to serve clients within your targeted location? That should be your target, and from there you need to start your game plan. Okay, very nice. Now what could be the BD tasks for you? So here, first you need to have a specialization. Okay, it means you need to have your niche. What is the niche? It could be why, when you have a clarity, why are you better and whom you want to serve, then you need to have a specialization that for this particular thing you need to reach out to us, meaning this is what we are good at in the market and this is what we do very good compared to anybody else. So you need to have a better understanding of your client and what are the skills are in demand, what are low in supply, and if you have targeted your industry or client, you need to know where they go for hiring, what are their general way of hiring and where they post, or they use any portals, they have their only website, or they use LinkedIn, whatever it is, or a referral. You need to have that information. You need to know the market condition. Are they really affected by the market conditions, or the clients that you are targeting, they have any seasonal requirement in this particular time they open the requirements, and you need to have their hiring trends. Okay, now if you ask me how I should know all these things, you got to do your research. You have to do your research, you need to use tools, and definitely it needs your time and more research about knowing about somebody else. That's what it is. It makes a business development job tough and interesting as well. Those people who has a research mindset, those people who would like to do things differently, they get into this sort of thing. If you think just sending some emails and calling some few numbers will get you job, so business, it's sometimes doesn't work like that. All right, now let's get back. So you need to build your specialization, find your niche. What is that you are specialized? If you think you have a bunch of OPTs and CPTs and you want to go with them, you go find clients, it might be difficult. If you are specialized in artificial intelligence or maybe machine learning, you are specialized in developing some security apps, or you are into some CRM, what is that your specialization? Okay, with that you get into these targeted clients. All right, then you need to identify ideal client. What is that? There are 3 different types of client base or buyers, we may say. It's a mass buyer, class buyer, or others. Okay, mass buyer, we may say volume buyers, means they are the large companies, bigger companies who has large needs with low rates, right? So these are the companies who have bigger companies, very $1 billion company, multi-million dollars, bigger companies, they have needs, but they focus on low rates. Okay, they want to hire multiple roles, but they want to manage on the rates. Now if you say that no problem, we can work with these volume buyers with we are okay to keep less margin. Now you need to ask question. That's what your business perspective is. Are you really want to do from your heart? You really want to work with the low rate kind of requirements. All right. So if you are good with that, you definitely target for large companies. Okay. Then there are class clients. Okay, mass clients and class clients. Class clients focuses on quality first, meaning if they are volume buyers, these are like boutique buyers. They have a specialized projects and they don't care about the rate. All right, they could be a contract position, whatever. They don't care about the rate, but they want the quality because they cannot afford to onboard a candidate which is not going to help them deliver the project. So they look for the best of the best and they pay whatever it is. Now you need to know, you need to identify what kind of client would you like to work for. This kind of client, work with this kind of client. Yes, that should be your ideal client. And there will be other which are any company that is not mass or a class, other falls in the other category. Okay, so you might need to target. So for you, if you have a government client, if you want to go with, so you definitely want to look for some government clients as well, because those might help you get some contacts. But again, that gets into the bidding and you need to approach, so many things are there. Okay, that's a different ball game altogether. Let's don't go there. So let's understand that if you are starting your business development journey, what else is required. So first, identify your USP, whom you want to serve. Specialist. Okay, build your niche, identify what kind of clients you want to work. Then comes in execution. Execution goes on your emailing, calling, messaging, referral, so on and so forth, right? We'll discuss about that. Then comes in LinkedIn connection. What is that? LinkedIn primarily works well for recruiting. Okay, because there are so many contacts, there are so many clients and CEOs, big companies, employees, everybody is there, right? You know that. Now here you might need to use some premium LinkedIn or Sales Navigator or some other tools for you to use LinkedIn for your lead generation. And again, this is what my suggestion. What is that? Do not message in LinkedIn connections or to your companies in the LinkedIn without doing any proper research about them. If you just going to send some sort of a fancy email, it is not going to work, because there are so many tens and hundreds of messages goes to the people to of the big companies which are really not crafted well, and those looks like very much salesy. Definitely those are the salesy though, not looks like, definitely those are the salesy messages. So if you do some research, okay, now if you understand, let's say there is a CEO you want to connect, there is a recruitment manager you want to connect of ABC or some XYZ company, and you have targeted that individual. Now you need to understand that profile. There are some AI tools, all right, like Crystal No is a tool that will help you to understand what kind of person is that, what to talk, what not to talk, and what to email, and so on and so forth. So you may use some AI tools to understand that profile and get into the likes and activities. From there you approach with a message, and the different styles that you definitely need to use for LinkedIn connections. Okay, so here once you understand this, then focus on LinkedIn, or you may would like to get into some other tools. For example, I have found some interesting like Yellow Pages. So if you see that Yellow Pages, and you are in Dallas, Texas, okay, so here software developer, all right, software development companies, and this is in okay, Maryland, or we are going to Dallas, Texas. Okay, so here if you see, these are the computer software services and developers companies, and they have the phone numbers. So this is what we call leads. From here you get into, you call them and you build, you discuss about your offerings, then you make it to your prospect, right? That's what, this is one of the examples. And now cold calling. Yes, okay, so cold calling is differently required, so we are going to discuss about that in a while. Then comes in, you need to be a clarity, you have to be very clear about what is that you want to charge, or how, what could be the margin you are going to keep for yourself. Okay, and again, you need to know some companies will give a net 30 and net 60. So at the same time, you need to have the financial money backup to continue the payment of the candidate whoever the onboard. Let's say you have onboarded a new client and they have a net 60 and they will not pay you before that, right? So in that case, you need to have funds to continue the payment of your candidate. So that is another thing if you are starting new and you do not work with the pay terms. So make sure that your fees are very clear and the payment terms are well. And follow-up process. So here you need to have a proper follow-up process. It means, let's say you have a 3-step follow-up process. For example, first you wanted to have a call. Okay, so let's say first you will be like a calling, or then follow with text if that is what you have, and then is a LinkedIn message. Okay, if this both calls connect, then it comes a phone call or demo if you want to discuss. Then third might be you would like to get into meeting. Okay, so it could be a phone call, then you could be like a follow-up email, right? Whatever works with your way of working. So make sure that you have a proper follow-up process set up. Okay, and the final one is, be prepared to fire your client. Why? Because if you don't fire your client and you always keep feeding the client, which is always been a pain in the wrong place, then there will be no satisfaction of the work. So if someone is not paying, or someone treating not well to your candidates, and they don't like to work there, according to your documents, according to your contract, you definitely can fire. And again, do not mistreat your clients, because if they give some kind of bad remark, that is going to be a negative review for you, and it is going to give you definitely a hard time getting new contacts. So don't entertain bad clients for a long period of time. All right, now it's totally up to you. Understood? So here, have a specialization, clarity over ideal client, use LinkedIn or other sources to bring your leads, and clarify what is the money that you would like to keep your margin, have a proper follow-up process, and work with good clients. Now come and understand about how you are going to start, where you are going to start. Emailing primarily, right? If you have the email IDs of the company, you may use email extractors, or you have purchased some of the leads, or you have your old data, whatever it is. Okay, now here research is very much important, right? That's what I was telling. When you have sending new emails, new messages, research is very much important, that whom you are sending and what is that your email should do, and what is that they are going to get from your email. All right, it means how the email is going to be useful for them. Okay, it's totally about them, not about you. Customization, meaning you got to have a customization email which should be focused, not a mass email sort of thing. Again, you have to be consistent in your approach. Consistent. You send 20 today, 5 tomorrow, 1 day after you did not do anything in the 4th or 5th day. Again, you are sending 30 in the 6th day and you are waiting for some reply. It is not going to work. Have consistency in your approach and have multiple approaches. Okay, so that is the reason I told you business development is a different ball game. If you are a recruiter, if you are a bench salesperson, and you are doing your recruiting and you are doing your bench sales work, and again you are doing the business development work, it is going to be a really hard game, because your focus is being diverted to multiple things and multiple targets, multiple results you need to bring. So in that case, it is going to be very much difficult. If you wanted to do exclusive business development, get into exclusive doing that work. Okay, so that's where you experience the fun. Now you need to have the MPC. MPC is most placeable candidate. If you have most placeable candidate, it means you know this person can crack the interviews, this person can do the job. Now this is what your product is. Now with this product, you need to identify the buyer. To identify the buyer, you need to know the buyer's issues and problems and difficulties, and from this product you are going to approach to the buyer, and in the middle that you are going to sell. Okay, that's what the strategy is all about. So what are the most placeable candidates you have? You need to know that, and while customizing you may need to get that information towards that reader. Then calling. What is the calling thing? For the calling, you have to have a right person, people. Okay, everybody cannot just call lazily to someone to pitch the product. You should not sound like a customer care executive or someone who is sending you personal loan or credit card. You need to have energy, you have to have your clarity, you need to have your USP defined, and you should be pitching in a way that sounds very professional. Okay, so that's what you need to focus when you are calling. Messaging, definitely you need to do your research, customize your short messages, and approach to the right person. So you do not send messages directly to get a connect, let's say, new person. Okay, do some research. That's very much important, because you also do not want someone new person who is directly connecting with you and asking for some business, right? Because everybody does that. How you are going to differentiate yourself is going to change the game. Referrals could help you to bring business initially. So it means you may approach your maybe friends, okay, some old clients, or you may approach your candidates, because candidates could be the great source for you to introduce them to their friends or to their previous companies. Okay, so that could be another way how you get the referrals, but make sure that you have a very good referral program in place, and that should be beneficial to the person who is referring. And it is a slow, steady process, but yeah, you definitely have to try and see how it is working for you. Okay, and again, you see, right, in the market, there are companies, there are people who definitely see some personal interest or personal benefit there. So if you are someone who would like to get into that, so definitely a in-person meeting is very much important. Okay, so make sure that you meet with your clients or the person who you would like to do the business as well. Okay, so that's a different things altogether. So to start immediately, you definitely would like to use referrals, because that might help you to show that how good you are and how you could get into the market. All right, now you may need to go to the events, trade shows, networking. So networking could be your local networking, where there will be the business people comes in and you could able to sell your product. Local events and trade shows, maybe trade shows could be costly and you might not able to afford if you're starting new, or maybe you may need to get a booth there to have your products or to pitch your services. So see what works for you. Okay, so overall you might need to use tools, and you need to have a consistency, and you need to have energy to do all these things. Okay, so as I told you, you can use Yellow Pages. Okay, yellowpages.com to get some contacts here and see if they have any business for you. And there is some another one is thomasnet.com. So here suppliers, let's say we are going with software. You see there are so many software supplies are there, and let's say we are talking about firewall. Okay, firewall suppliers, and let's see who are the companies are supplying firewalls, and let's say you have someone specialized in that sort of firewalls. Okay, and firewall software. Okay, networking, subscription billing, data analysis software. Okay, Zipit wireless. So these are the manufacturer people. From here you need to go to connect, and you need to bring information, and so on and so forth. So sometimes you have to spend money as well. And again, if you are starting new, make sure that you are going to have some difficulties, you are going to have a bad time. All your emails will not be answered, all your calls will not be answered, all your messages will not be seen and will not be answered, all your referrals may not work, all your events and trade shows may not get you clients. But consistency and staying in the ground for a longer period of time will definitely help you out. Okay, it is only the time, right? That's the one client if comes in and you are doing better, and definitely that will have a ripple effect and will bring you more and more clients. Very good. I hope it helped you and gave you some idea about how business development works and how you should start. And if you like this video, share your inputs in the comment, and I'll share more information about recruiting and other stuff in my coming videos. Alright, thank you so very much for listening. This is Suman Pachigulla on a mission to impact 5 million lives through recruiters. Take care and bye-bye.